Hello and welcome to this Excel tips video. I am Sumit Bansal and in this video I'm going to show you 25 Excel keyboard shortcuts that will save you a lot of time and make you look like a pro. But before I get to it, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and click on the bell icon so that you never miss out on any new Excel tips video I come up with. So let's get started. Let me begin with a keyboard shortcut that I use multiple times in a day. So here I have this data set and I want to filter this data. So the keyboard shortcut for applying the filters is Control Shift L. So I would hold the Control and the Shift key and then press the L key. Make sure any cell within the data set is selected. And as soon as I do that, you can see the filters are applied. Now if I want to, let's say, filter based on the priority and I want to get all the records for high priority, I would come here, click on this drop down icon, uncheck everything, click on high and then click OK. And as soon as I do this, it is going to give me all the records which is for high priority. If I want to remove the filter, I can again use the same keyboard shortcut, Control Shift L. So I hold the Control and the Shift key, press the L key and the filters are gone. Another thing that you can do is, let's say you want to quickly filter this data based on the records for Jenny. Now to apply the filter, I would use Control Shift L. Now instead of using the mouse, I can keep on using the keyboard. So I would hold the Alt key and then press the down arrow key. It shows me this menu. And because I want to filter this based on Jenny, I want to go to this search bar here. So I would press the E key on my keyboard. And as soon as I do this, it takes me to the search bar and here I can type a few characters of the criteria based on which I want to filter. It shows me these criteria that match what I have entered, and when I find the only one that I want to filter based on, then I hit the enter key and instantly it is going to give me these results. Let me show you again how this works really quickly. Let me remove the filter. Now to apply the filter, Control Shift L, then Alt and down arrow key, then press the E key. It goes to the search bar, type a few characters of the criteria and hit enter, and instantly it'll give you the filtered data. If you want to copy the content from the cell above, you can use the keyboard shortcut Control D. So I come to this cell, I hold the Control key and press the D key, and it copies the content from the cell above it. Also note that this is going to copy the value as well as the formatting. So in this case, if I format this cell, I come here and I use the keyboard shortcut Control D, then it is going to copy the content as well as the formatting. In case you want to copy the content to the cell to the right, then you can use the keyboard shortcut Control R. So in this case, if I come here and I hold the Control key and press R, then it is going to copy the content which is to the cell on the left. When you are manually entering the data, you can speed up the process by selecting from the values that you have already entered. So in this case, let's say I want to enter the value Jenny here, then instead of typing it manually, I can hold the Alt key and press the down arrow key. And when I do that, it is going to show me all the unique items that I have already entered, the unique names. So in this case, I have these 5 names. Now I can simply use the down arrow key, come to Jenny and hit enter. Similarly, if I come here and let's say I want to enter Greg, I hold the Alt key, press the down arrow key, come to Greg and hit enter. This saves me time, and at the same time this also makes it less error prone because I'm already choosing from what has been entered. So the chances of me entering something or a misspelled name is less. If you want to quickly go to the last filled cell in a data set, then you can hold the Control key and use the arrow keys. So in this case, if I hold the Control key and press down arrow key, it takes me to the last cell in this column. And if I want to go back up, I hold the Control key and then up arrow key. Similarly, if I want to go across the row to the last filled cell, I hold the Control key and then press the right arrow key. And to come back, Control and left arrow key. Now, this only works when you have a data set that has no gaps. In case there is a gap, let's say I don't have this data set here, this record here, and I come here and I press Control down arrow key, it is only going to get me here because this is a blank cell. So this only works when you have no gaps. Let me press Control Z. Now, if you also want to make the selection, not just go to the last cell, but select till the last cell, then you hold the Control and the Shift key and then down arrow key, and it makes the selection. The same would work across the row. And if you want to then select all the cells in the columns and the rows, then you continue to hold Control and Shift key and press the right arrow key. If you want to hide a column, select any cell in the column and then hold the Control key and then press the 0 key, and it would hide the column. And in case you want to hide the row, select any cell in the row and then hold the Control key and press the 9 key, and that would hide the row. If you want to delete an entire row or an entire column, then you select any cell in that row or column and then hold the control key and press the minus key. This opens the delete dialog box, and here you can choose whether you just want to delete the cells or the entire row or column. Also note that there are these alphabets that are underlined. So in this case, if I don't want to use the mouse, I can simply hit the R key and it is going to select entire row because R is underlined, or C and it is going to select C entire column because C is underlined, and now I can click OK. Also, if you want to insert a new column or a row, then you use the keyboard shortcut Control Shift and plus key, and it is going to open the insert dialog box, and again you can insert an entire row or column. If you're using a numeric keypad, then you can just use Control and plus, and it is going to again open the insert dialog box. If you want to select an entire column, hold the control key and then hit the space bar key. And if you want to select an entire row, hold the shift key and hit the space bar key. Now this could be useful in case you want to format the entire column or delete the entire column. So in this case, I'm going to delete this column. I hold the control key, press the space bar key, it selects the entire column, then I hold the control key and hit the minus key, and instantly it is going to remove that column. If you want to run spell check in Excel, hit the F7 key on your keyboard. This is going to show you this spelling dialog box where it is going to show you the misspelled words and suggestions on what could be the correct spelling. And you can click on change to correct this. And once you're done, it is going to show you this dialog box which says spell check complete. To navigate through worksheet tabs, you can use the keyboard shortcut Control Page Up or Page Down. So I hold the Control key and I hit the Page Down key, and it is going to take me to the next sheet to the right, and I can cycle through all these. Similarly, if I want to go back, I can hold the Control key and then use the Page Up key to go back to the sheets on the left. If you have multiple Excel workbooks open and many other applications open, let's say you have Chrome and PowerPoint and other apps open, and you only want to cycle through the Excel workbooks, then you can use the keyboard shortcut Control Tab. So hold the Control key and press the Tab key. And when you do that, it is going to take you to the next workbook, and it is only going to take you through the workbooks in Excel. It is not going to go to other applications. If you want to convert a data set into an Excel table, select any cell in the data set, hold the control key and press the T key. When you do that, it opens the create table dialog box. Here, make sure your range is correct, and if your data has headers, then this option should be checked, and then click OK. As soon as you do this, this is going to convert your data into an Excel table. Here I have cells that have a formula in it, and I want to copy it as values only. So I would select these cells, copy this by using Control C, go to the cell where I want to paste it as value, and then use the keyboard shortcut Alt ESV. So when I press the Alt key, then E key and then the S key, it opens the paste special dialog box. And then when I hit the V key, it selects values in the paste special dialog box, and then I hit the Enter key and it instantly gives me these. Let me show you again. I select these cells, press Control C to copy it, go to the cell where I want to paste it as values, and then Alt ESV, Enter. To open the Format Cells dialog box, first select the cell or the range of cells where you want to apply some formatting. So let's say I select this entire data set here, hold the Control key and then press the 1 key. And when you do that, it opens this Format Cells dialog box where you can change all kinds of formatting. You have all these number formatting, you have alignment, font, border, fill in case you want to change the color, and a lot many options that you may not easily find in the ribbon. So select the cell, hold the Control key and press the 1 key. If you want to quickly get the sum of the values in a column, you go to the cell below the data, hold the Alt key and then press the equal to key. This is the AutoSum shortcut where it would instantly insert the sum formula and add all the values in the column. It is smart enough to realize that this is a text, so it only needs to sum the values that are numbers. Also, in case you want to do it in a row, you go to any cell in the row, and on the left you would have the values that you want to sum, and then hold the Alt key and press the equal to key, and you would get the sum of the values in the row. If you want to enter more than one lines in a cell, then you can use the keyboard shortcut Alt Enter to go to the next line. So in this case, let's say I want to enter two names here, and instead of creating two records, I want both these names in the same cell. So I type, let's say, Rick here, and to go to the next cell, I hold the Alt key and press the Enter key. And now I can type another name and I hit the Enter key, and you can see both of these are in a single cell. So if you want to have multiple lines in a single cell, you can separate these by using the keyboard shortcut Alt Enter. To insert a comment in a cell, first select the cell, then hold the Shift key and press the F2 key. And when you do that, it automatically inserts the comment and opens this box where you can type whatever you want to. So let's say I type on leave. And now to close this box, you can hit the escape key, and you can see that the comment has been inserted. In case you want to edit any of the comments that have already been inserted, you go to the cell, select it, and again hold the Shift key and press F2, and it is going to open the comment which is already in the cell, and you can edit it. To insert the current date, go to the cell, hold the Control key and use the colon key. So it would insert the current date, and if you want to insert the current time, you hold the Control and the Shift key together and then use the colon key, and it is going to insert the time. In this data set, I have a few rows that are hidden. Now, if I copy this data and I, let's say, insert a new sheet here and paste this data, you can see that I get these many rows. I have 15 rows of data. But if I go back to my original data set, you can see these are not 15 because there are some rows that have been hidden. So if you only want to select these cells that are visible, then you first select the entire data set, hold the Alt key and then press the semicolon key. And when you do that, it is only going to select the cells that are visible. You can see it shows you these white lines, which means that there are certain rows that are hidden and they're not selected. So now if I copy this data, go back here in this sheet and paste this data, you can see I only copy paste the data that was visible. It's not copy pasting the data in the rows that are hidden. So if you only want to select visible cells, use the keyboard shortcut Alt semicolon. Here I have the names data and I want to quickly remove the last name and only get the first name. So I can use flash fill to do this, and here I can type the name manually. Then I can select this entire range where I want these results and use the keyboard shortcut Control E. And Control key is the keyboard shortcut for flash fill that tries and identifies a few patterns in this data. So here it identified that I want to get the first name and it applies that to this entire data set. Also, please remember that flash fill may not always be accurate. So just make sure that you check the result, and if it is correct, then you can just go ahead with it. This is one of my favorite keyboard shortcuts. It involves using the keyboard as well as the mouse. And here I have this data set and I want to, let's say, shift this record at the top. So to do that, I would first select all these cells. I would hold the Shift key, bring the cursor at the top edge of this selection. You can see the cursor changes into these 4 pointed arrows. I would click on my mouse, the left key, drag this up, and while I'm dragging, you can see that I have this thick green line, and you have to have the Shift key pressed all the time. And now when I'm bringing this at the top and I leave the mouse key, it would shift the data here, and instantly everything that was in the data set arranges in such a way that that record goes to the top and everything else is below it. Now, the great thing about this technique is that it is not going to impact anything which is to the right of this or at the bottom of this. So it only impacts the selected cells. Let me show you an example. Here I type, let's say, some random text, and I want to shift this row up. Now, I'm not shifting the entire row. I'm only selecting these cells. I come here, hold the Shift key, bring the cursor to the edge, drag this up, leave it there, and everything else remains unchanged. So this is a really quick way to move rows and columns in your dataset. If you want to freeze the top row in such a way that it is always visible while you're scrolling down, then there is a keyboard shortcut for it. As of now, if I scroll down, you can see that the header row goes away. So to make the header row always be visible and freeze it, you can use the keyboard shortcut Alt WFR. Now, when you do that, you can see that this line appears here, which means that this row has been frozen. And now when I go down, this would always be visible. Similarly, if you want to only freeze the leftmost column, then you can use the keyboard shortcut Alt W F C. And it is going to freeze the column on the left. And if I go to the right, this column would always be visible. And if you want to remove this, if you want to unfreeze the rows and columns, then you can use the keyboard shortcut Alt W F F. To insert a hyperlink in a cell, first select the cell, hold the Control key and press the K key. This is going to open the Insert Hyperlink dialog box, and here you can insert a URL here, or if you want to link to another sheet in the same workbook, you can do that as well. To insert a new sheet, you can use the keyboard shortcut Shift F11. So hold the Shift key and press the F11 key, and it would instantly insert a new sheet. If you want to open the VB editor backend, you can use the keyboard shortcut Alt F11. So hold the Alt key and press the F11 key, and it is going to open the VB editor. And finally, let me give you some formatting keyboard shortcuts. Now, these are relatively longer than the regular keyboard shortcuts, but if you get used to it, it can save you a lot of time. So here I have this data set and I want to give a border to it. So I would select this entire data set, and then the keyboard shortcut is Alt HBA, and this would apply the border. If I want to change the formatting to bold, then I would hold the Control key and then press the B key. So this makes the text bold. If I want to center align it, then the keyboard shortcut is Alt HAC. And now if I want to give a color to this, so I can use the keyboard shortcut Alt HH. And when I do that, it opens this color palette and you can choose a color from here. In case you have already applied a color and you want to remove it, you can use the keyboard shortcut Alt HHN. And if you want to remove the borders, then you can use the keyboard shortcut Alt HBN. And if you want to remove all the formatting and just have the text, then you can use the keyboard shortcut Alt HEF. So that would remove all the formatting and you would get simple plain data. So these are some useful Excel keyboard shortcuts that you can use in your day-to-day life, and it can help you save a lot of time. That's it in this video. I hope you found this useful. Also, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and click on the bell icon so that you never miss out on any new Excel tips video I come up with. Thank you and have a wonderful day.